Okay, in this video I want to talk about some basics of exponential and logarithmic equations. First of all, what are they? They're any kind of equation that has either an exponential function, meaning a number to the x power, or a logarithmic function in it. So any kind of equation that's got exponentials or logs that we're trying to solve for x. And our general strategy is going to use these 5 formulas that we've talked about before. And what we're going to do is combine exponentials and logarithms on each side. Of the equation. And the way we're going to do that, we've talked about rules of exponents before a million times, so I'm not going to write all those rules down. But the new rules of logarithms, these 3. We're going to be using these 3 rules to say if we have a log plus a log on one side, combine it to be a single log. If we have a number times a log on one side, combine it to be a single log. So we're going to be using those top formulas to combine logs on each side. And the equivalent rules of exponents if we had exponentials on each side. Okay, our next step is to get rid of the exponential or the log. Okay, so what do we mean by get rid of exponential logarithm? Well, I would like it to not be there anymore. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to use these 2 properties. And what these 2 properties are saying is that logs and exponentials, or exponentials and logs, seem to be like canceling each other out. Like here's an exponential and a log, and we end up with just x as our answer. Here we have a log and an exponential, essentially just cancel, and we have an x as our answer. So basically we're going to be using cancellation properties, these 2. And they're basically saying same thing as if you had like an x squared, you would use a square root. The opposite of a square is a square root. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So these are inverse functions is one way to describe them, but they're 2 operations that should cancel each other out. So we're going to use an exponential to get rid of a log. We're going to use a log to get rid of an exponential. That's kind of the theory. You'll see the practical application in the next video. Okay, and then finally, what we're left with is going to be some kind of equation. We're still going to have to solve whatever that equation is. So that's going to be our general strategy. If we have multiple logs, we want to combine them first. Then we get rid of the exponential or logarithm. And I'm being kind of deliberately vague here because we're going to have kind of different strategies for different equations. And then finally, we solve whatever our answer is. And again, I'm being deliberately vague because there's lots of different ways that this could work out or could look after all that's done.